Arsenal will be looking to maintain their impressive recent Premier League form when they host Newcastle United this weekend. Hi, welcome along to Arsenal Fan Zones, the show that brings you the latest update as it concerns Arsenal. Guys, if you're visiting this channel for the first time, please do well to hit on that subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so you get to be notified whenever there's a new video. Let's take this to 800 subscribers. Alright, following their Champions League clash away to FC Porto, Arsenal returned to Premier League action with a match against Newcastle United at the Emirates Stadium on Saturday. The previous meetings between the two clubs saw Newcastle win in controversial fashion after an Anthony Gordon winner and a lack of possible red cards. The major highlights of the game led to VAR audio being released, a rant from Mikel Arteta, and an eyebrow-raising statement from Arsenal over the standing of refereeing. Well, it seems the fixture is turning into somewhat of a grudge match after outrage over time wasting the season before. Well, Arsenal will be seen as favourites in this one as they have scored 21 goals in their previous 5 Premier League outings, and they will be out for revenge this weekend as Newcastle come to town. The 1-0 loss at St James's Park was embroiled in controversy and was a real setback for Arteta's side. The Magpies have been hit with a series of injuries this season, and it's not been the campaign Eddie Howe would have hoped for. Newcastle's defence is one of the weakest in the league and have not kept a clean sheet in 2024, but 2 wins and 2 draws from their last 4 games suggest Eddie Howe's team have shaken off their miserable result of late December and early January. With 11 points separating them and Aston Villa, Newcastle may not be running for Champions League qualification, so their fight is most likely for Europa League and Europa Conference League places. Arsenal, on the other hand, remain the most informed team in the Premier League, and a win over Newcastle could prove a real psychological boost. Although it was a different scenario as they produced a fairly controlled display in Porto on Wednesday night, I would have been content with a 0-0 first leg draw. However, Galeno's super strike at the death means Mikel Arteta's men have work to do in the return leg. Well, as expected, both teams will be going into this game with some injury concerns. Arsenal hope Thomas Partey will be involved in the squad after returning to training but missing the midweek trip to Portugal. Speaking last week, Arteta said, "Thomas is progressing really well. I don't want to say too much, but he's looking very good and is on the field already." Well, some cheering news for Arsenal as Gabriel Jesus will be assessed ahead of the game. Alexander Zinchenko and Takehiro Tomiyasu are unlikely to be fit for this one. In the meantime, Jurrien Timber remains sidelined as a result of the consequence of the anterior cruciate ligament injury he suffered on the opening weekend of the season, although it is understood that his rehabilitation is progressing well. For Newcastle United, Matt Targett and Elliot Anderson are not expected back until mid-March, while Nick Pope is still recovering from the dislocated shoulder he suffered back in December. Midfielder Sandro Tonali still remains unavailable due to a gambling-related ban that will run until August. Well, Eddie Howe will be happy to have influential trio Fabian Schär, Joe Willock and Alexander Isak back in contention. Meanwhile, there will be a particular focus on the officiating of the match following the events of the reverse fixture at St James's Park. The Premier League have announced that Paul Tierney will referee the game between Arsenal and Newcastle. Paul Tierney has refereed 18 Arsenal games in the past, involving 7 Arsenal wins and 6 defeats. But this will be his first game between Arsenal and Newcastle. Well, we can only hope that Saturday's fixtures goes by without the same level of controversy as the last one. This is certainly going to be an interesting match to watch. But one thing is certain, there will be plenty of goals in this game. The most will be in favour of Arsenal. Well, tell me what you think in the comment section about this very important fixture. Let's have a conversation. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel, and I will see you after the games.